Hello everybody, and welcome to the live coverage of the Barcelona of the Bahrain Pre-Season Test. Oh Christ, on a bike, that's gone horrendously wrong, hasn't it? There we go. Let's mute myself. Fantastic stuff there. But yeah, we are now live for our. Well, I think we're going to get a solid 6 hours of streaming in now. So I think we're in a good place. You know, I'm less busy today. We're actually going to get a decent amount of streaming in, right? So I'm going to quickly start the timer. So we've got that going. So it's about now. Sure, we've got about 1 hour and 56 minutes to go. So there we go, all up on the stream. And how is it? Is the chat not connected? Oh, that's weird. Can Streamlabs not do that? That would be. I mean, this is quite important to the stream, to be honest. If this would fancy working, that would be absolutely great. RaceBeacon, yeah, hello, Sergey. Hello, Humza, how you doing? Hello, nice to see you live. Yeah, no worries at all. There we go. Technical difficulty. There we go. Shrey, you brought it to life by shouting at it. Well done. Okay, it's decided it wants to work now. So here we go. We're live. We've got quite a lot, to be honest. There's a lot going on. So we have what's just happened. Nicholas Latifi, something was catching the brakes, and apparently, basically, what's happened is it started to overheat. And yeah, we've had a very, very dramatic moment with Alex Albon in the commentary booth at the same time. So yeah, that was a little bit odd, but yes, there we go. All working now, all working out. I hope the chat is working, so I'll just be able to chuck anything else in the chat, it might work. There we go. Okay, it's all working. Yeah, out of all the messages, that one appears. Exactly. If you shouted it, it works. That's what I've realised. But yeah, here we go. So we've got a long way to go today. Still another 6 hours of running. We're under red flag conditions still. But the car is being taken back on the flatbed now. It is just coming into the pit lane. So you know what? We're getting underway. We're not too far off now. Anything new on Horner versus Mercedes? Nothing too new. I don't think there's been any new quotes or anything like that that we can really dig into. Christian denied his denied saying. What's that? Yeah, he denied saying that it's illegal and stuff, but he did actually he did say it to members of the press, or a member of the press. So yeah, weird one. Hour two. Yes, there we go. So currently we've got Esteban Ocon. He went on a set of C4 tyres in that lovely racing Alpine point. And he's come out and currently leading by just about a tenth ahead of Charles Leclerc on a set of C3 tyres. Max 1.5 seconds off the pace on a set of C2s. And Bottas putting in, I would say, a decent lap time, but he is still 3 seconds off the pace. So there's still a lot more to go. Love how it's Horner versus Merc and not Red Bull versus Merc. Oh no, that's the yeah. No, good point. Oh god. But yeah, there we go. So we've we've got a lot more running. So we're just seeing some more replays currently of Nicholas Latifi's rear brakes catching on fire. He did nearly the whole lap. Nearly got back to the pits with them smoking, but they just locked right at the end. They basically burnt for absolutely everything that was there, and it. Unfortunately, that was it. So, yeah, Nicholas Latifi, his session looking like it's potentially over. Don't know what Alex Albon's running is going to be like in the afternoon, whether they're going to be able to recover easily from that or not. Obviously, where can I watch? Oh god, where can I watch a live stream? So yeah, unfortunately, there's not a well, it depends where you are in the world. There's not many live streams about. I'm in the UK, so we do have a live stream. But a lot of places around the world just simply don't have a live stream, which absolutely sucks. But that's why I'm here. That's my job. try to commentate over it as best as possible. So yeah. Are you allowed to share a link? I mean, I suppose so. I don't control what people happen to maybe send in my chat. I don't control that. Let's go. So we've got you think the lack of side pods are actually helping Merc? They don't seem to be on that fast at the moment and locking up porpoising. Well, they've been okay on the porpoising today a bit more. It's been a lot less of an issue. Everyone's still been locking up. There's no real difference there. I think they're locking up a little bit less from the track running we've seen, but George has had 2 or 3 moments. So they're probably still on the worst side of it, but it's not quite as bad as yesterday. It does look a little bit better to handle, but there's still a very long way to go. We're going to get a lot more running to test that. What have we got? So, share link, please. As long as it isn't offensive, scamming, etc. What's going on with McLaren? Only 6 laps. Is there an issue linked with yesterday? No, I don't think so. Actually, hang on. I might have missed Norris's update. To be brutally honest, let me have a quick check. Oh no, Norris has just done 6 laps. Well, I don't know, because obviously the situation we've got is Daniel Ricciardo not feeling great. And yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's playing a bit of a part there. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if they're just happy with the running they've done. But yeah, no, we've got 2 hours in, only having done 6 laps. Not ideal. I don't think there's anything wrong that we know from everything that anything that I've seen so far. So yeah, seems a little bit weird, but yeah, not too sure what's going on down at McLaren. They didn't get a lot of running in yesterday either, of course. Or does Red Bull look like a big changes? There's a couple of changes on it, no doubt. There are a couple of new parts on that car. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's going to have a massive effect yet. We haven't had the opportunity to like really test that out. Hang on, I need to sign into the right tweet deck. That'd be a good idea. There we go. And then I need to update that. Refresh. Brilliant, there we go. So now you're actually getting the right feed that we want to see. So there we go, that's a bit better. But yeah, here we go. We are doing well. We're all back. Unfortunately, Nicholas Latifi not quite doing as well. So yeah, there's a couple of new parts on the floor for the Red Bull. I think that's potentially where some of the biggest changes have been seen so far. A couple of fairly minor visual changes. It's not too massive though, to be honest. But yeah, it's all going well unless you're Williams or I guess McLaren at the moment, to be honest. Mick Schumacher did lose out on a bit of running in the morning. It took about an hour for that car to get out on track, but ever since they've been running around, picking up some laps. So they did lose out a little bit at the start, but they're getting there now. What do I think of the Ferrari? So for the Ferrari, I don't know. It's a really tricky one because it seems to be one of the nicer cars to handle. It seems like one of the better cars to drive at the moment. But I don't know how much further we can go than that. Obviously, we haven't had any like real evidence of this mega pace. So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. But let's bring up the times from yesterday actually. So Bahrain day 1. So you had Pierre Gasly obviously coming out on top, and then you had the C3s for Sainz and Leclerc, and within half a second. See, I feel like that was probably a fairly decent time. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know really now. So I've done 34.3 today. Yeah, so they've already beaten their time from yesterday. So we're already in the stage where we're getting some quicker times already, and there's still 6 hours left of the day to go. So I love this guy. Ferrari, one of the best looking in my opinion. Pretty fast in testing, at least in testing. Yeah, that's the thing. They've got some decent pace out there, but I don't know. I still feel like there's a bit more in reserve for all of the teams still. Hopefully we're going to see a bit of that unlocked today, because I'm not around tomorrow afternoon, and I know that is the absolute worst session to be missing. But unfortunately, I'm not. I could probably do again streaming like the 3 hours in the morning, something like that. But I'm not there in the afternoon, and I hate it. It's because they moved it to a Saturday for the final day, which has just completely screwed me over because it's ruined all my plans. But yeah. What have we got going on? I hope Malaysia Grand Prix will be able to we'll take the Russian Grand Prix place. Yeah, I still think, to be honest, it's going to be Turkey. It doesn't seem a slam dunk as it was before, but I'm just going to be so surprised if it doesn't end up being Turkey. What do I think of Bathurst with F1? I mean, that'd be a fun one to watch. I'm not sure it would make a great race, but it would definitely be a fun one to have a look at. Why red flag? So currently the red flag is out because Nicholas Latifi has had a bit of his brakes caught on fire. Let me find it on here. So here you go. It says brakes caught fire, and basically he went about halfway around the lap, and then eventually it did give way because they ran out of stuff to burn. Brakes locked, spun. Fire extinguisher there. I think the Pirelli tyre basically blew up with the heat that was obviously it was experiencing, and now it's back in the pits, and hopefully we'll be back on. Actually, I'm not quite sure why we're not back underway yet. Have they actually? So yeah, Williams pick following a fire on Nicholas Latifi's car. The team will assess the damage and look to understand the cause of the issue prior to any further running. So I don't know if that obviously doesn't seem great for Alex Albon's prospects in the afternoon, but yeah. Got going on. The red pig bathtub is doing fine. JK. They seem to have the better car. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I think, again, we just haven't seen any real pace from them yet, which is making it quite hard to gauge where everyone is at, obviously. Ferrari is tighter. Yeah, I mean, I still think Ferrari. I don't think they'll win the constructors, but I think they're definitely going to be up there. You know, I think they're going to be in the battle. I still think it'll be Mercedes champions. I'm going to say this many more times today, I'm sure. For me, the constructor standings, most likely you're looking at about Mercedes, then Ferrari, then Red Bull from what we've seen so far. The Red Bull doesn't seem quite as developed. There's just less on it. And I don't know if a simpler approach is going to be a little bit better, but they seem like a bit like what the Mercedes car was like in Barcelona. It's just that little bit more simple. You're not sure if it's quite got that extra edge that the Ferrari and the Mercedes seems to have. Then I'd go McLaren. I think they're going to be a pretty confident P4. You know, I think they're going to be absolutely right up there. Hopefully on their day, being able to fight for podiums on a regular basis, that would be pretty good. And then you're probably looking at like Aston Martin, then Alpine. But I don't know, Alpine have put in some decent times and decent running today. They've had a pretty poor last 2 days of testing. So, day 3 in Barcelona and day 1 in Bahrain. Facing some issues. But no, overall it's going okay for them, I see. What have we got going on? Do the teams just use one car and switch driver numbers between sets? Yes, they do. So each team is just bringing one chassis here. Here we go. The session's back underway in 1 minute and 15 seconds. So there we go. When that timer hits 1 hour 44 minutes, we're back underway. So there you go. What I've got going on. Where's Face Come? It'll be here in the afternoon, I think. Basically, I've got it all set up, but I'm not in a state to be on camera. I woke up early to watch this, okay? So over the lunch break, I'm going to prepare myself for camera. There we go. Haas sandbagging. Yes, they can definitely do quicker than the 1:39 too. So, yeah, unfortunately, Mick Schumacher missed quite a lot of the early morning running, so with a couple of issues. But he's back out on track recently now, and yeah, we're going to be hopefully seeing a lot more of him, and he can set some pretty decent lap times. That'd be good to see. We want to see him do well. Right, I'm good. Oh God, I've got so many things open at the moment. It's crazy. Again. Basically saying I woke up at 5 o'clock. Yeah, that's the, yeah. I was up at, what would it be, about, like, 6-ish. So, yeah, I sort of just came here and just started watching it. But yeah, there we go. So we're now back under green flag running as of right now. So there we go. The first car back out on track is the Racing Alpine Point of Esteban Ocon, and then following him out, I believe, is that a Mercedes potentially? We're going to wait for it to come around the corner so we can actually see it. Could be the AlphaTauri potentially. Okay, it's definitely the Mercedes. That is hard to see. Oh, and then the AlphaTauri does come out, so I was right either way. Here we go. There's 4 cars queued at the end of the pit. Oh, and the Haas doing a lovely drift out of the pit garage as well. That was pretty cool. But yeah, here we go. So the first car on track, Ocon, and then you've got Yuki Tsunoda. Then it's going to be George Russell, and then it's going to be Mick Schumacher. So that's the 4 cars coming straight back out on track already. 5 o'clock's preparing to watch this. Is it just me, or was anyone else surprised Kevin Magnussen's back? Oh god, yeah. Yeah, no, I was very, very surprised. His name wasn't really in the running until like the day before, and then it was just immediately announced, and you're like, wait, what? Hang on. You think it's just a normal rumour, and then it just actually comes confirmed immediately. It's like, wait, okay, hi? How are you doing? So it's good to see him back. Where can I watch live testing in India? I don't think there is a place where you can watch it live in India, as far as I'm aware. I mean, I don't know if you can like find a stream or something along those lines, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's not really a place where you can watch it live. So, bit of a shame, but yeah. Get this guy to 10k. Come on, peeps. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The goal is to try to get to 10k before the season starts. We've got some, obviously we've got a pretty good chance with streaming this afternoon, because I don't think WTF1 are doing the first 3 hours of the afternoon session. So hopefully all of those guys head over here. That might do it, you know. We've got, did Red Bull bring car upgrades? Yes, they have. There are some new elements on the car, definitely. They've got a new element sort of on the upper end of the floor, which is quite interesting. They're sort of following similar to what some of the other teams have done. But of course, it's a slight variation on all of the other teams as well. I subbed. Oh, thank you. Who's my favourite driver? So, my favourite driver, Lando, because I followed him since karting, so I've just, I've followed him all the way through his career, basically, so, it's been really cool to see him get into F1. I have channel 2, dude. What was it? We had to go there yesterday. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, because I wasn't live. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I like to think mine's slightly more entertaining. But here we go. So we've got who's out on track at the moment. So coming back into pit lane is George Russell coming back in. The Haas is staying out on track. Oh, the Haas is a funky colour on the track map this year. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. So we've got Mick Schumacher out on track, Tsunoda, and then we've got Leclerc, I think, at the end of the pit lane. All Red Bull are coming back out on track with Verstappen. Then you've got Leclerc and Ocon all going around at the moment. I raced Lando. That's a very cool one. That's a very cool one. He was fast. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I know. I saw. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, there we go. So coming back out on track, we do have Max Verstappen now heading out. Currently seeing P3. He's had a decent showing of today. He's got a fair few laps in, just like obviously Checo did yesterday, getting a great run in. We had good races. No, I can imagine. Guys, anyone can watch live, like a Twitch or Discord link or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, yeah, because I can see it. So obviously, I'm not looking for streams or anything. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I can't stop watching stuff about Arcane. A very nice chat. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andre Mariner. So there we go. So actually, yeah, we've got most of the cars out on track now. There's only Latifi, Norris and Bottas not out there. And they're all in a fairly similar part of the track, apart from Vettel, who's a little bit separated. So everyone currently on that little mini straight before the long penultimate straight at the moment. The second DRS zone in the lap. So, or the second DRS activation point in the lap, I should say. Hopefully we get a bit more racing like we saw with Stroll and Alonso yesterday. Was not expecting that one bit, but it was absolutely brilliant. It was absolutely great stuff. Absolutely love to see it. What have we got? I have the live race on my gaming computer. Good plan. Oh, I'm streaming on my very powerful gaming computer. I was looking forward to have all the engine on the same foot and the cars needing just aerodynamic adjust, but Renault seems never bring a good work. Yeah, you know, that's an issue that we've got with Renault. They just seem to not quite be... Here we go, actually. We're getting a little bit of racing going on now. It's the AlphaTauri overtaking Max Verstappen. So Yuki Tsunoda making the move down the main straight with DRS and the slipstream. Obviously just doing a little bit of testing on how well these cars are following, how powerful the slipstream and DRS is going to be this year. There we go, Yuki getting the move done on Max. We've got Bruno saying peace. Vishvahit saying, is a website, Twitch somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if it's, last thing, I don't really know where all the streams are, because obviously I have, like, Sky Sports F1, so I don't know where, you know, I don't know where all the F1 content gets streamed to, typically. Mick Schumacher, new lap time. Yes, he has. He's just gone up into P5, so I'll quickly update that now. Let me go get that. So yeah, Mick moving himself. Ooh, Yuki, you have massive lock up at turn 10. I can say. Oh, Norris has done a 1:37.537. Lando Norris a 1:37.537, putting about a second on where he was before. Not sure what tyres he's on, unfortunately. They haven't quite shown him yet. We also saw Mick improving too, as you said. So let's see if we can get... Okay, no. Both the race and Autosport are incredibly slow to it, which is quite annoying, to be honest. So, there we go. I'll keep an eye on any improvements as they come in. Obviously, it will update eventually with Mick's new time, so we'll get that when it updates. What do you think of no side pods? So yeah, the no side pods on Mercedes, it's a really interesting one, because you've got... Obviously, it's theoretically about... Oh, Mick does... Yuki does improve 37.782 there, so 137.782 for Yuki Tsunoda. 7.782. There we go. So yeah, obviously not improving on his position or anything, but yeah, getting an improved lap time in the end. But yeah, no, with the no side pods thing, it's an interesting one, because obviously they're relying on the chemical coolant a lot more than in previous years. They've experimented with it before. But it's obviously it's quite risky. It's quite the understeer on these cars are crazy. Just watching Yuki Tsunoda locking up, going down into turn 10. I'll be saying that a lot over the course of the next 6 hours or so. There is a lot of drivers locking up repeatedly there. No side pod next thing, you know, they will let them do no top of the engine. Well, yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? Sorry, Science P20, Hamilton P19, sorry. Oh yeah, no, that's just that's completely irrelevant. um, yeah, that they're not in any form of particular order, I don't think so. Right, and Sebastian Vettel setting a 1 minute 36.020. Sebastian Vettel a 1:36.020, moving himself up the order there. And he's on a set of C3 tyres as well. So Sebastian Vettel P4 on a set of C3s. Yeah, not too bad. I know Mercedes side pods legal. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing to suggest that they're not legal. Obviously, there was a little bit of, there was some questioning of it yesterday, but, when I made the video yesterday, there was obviously some questioning. It still was pretty up in the air. But no, from what we've seen so far, everything points to those side pods being completely legal. No one's raised any eyebrows with it. It all seems fine. There's a lot of big changes on Mercedes car. Do you think that changes are legal? No, I still think they're completely legal from what I've heard. There's nothing to suggest otherwise so far. Leclerc can beat Ocon? Yes, he absolutely can, yeah. If he puts on a set of C4 tyres or even probably goes again on C3s like he is right now, if he gives it a go, he absolutely can beat that time, there's no doubt. So Max Verstappen just coming back into the pit lane. Currently out on track, we've got Ocon, Leclerc, Vettel, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher and George Russell. There are drivers out on track at the moment. And yes, I'm not sure what Charles is going to do here. Hopefully he goes for a little bit of a performance run. We can see a bit of an improved time. That's always it's always a good bit of fun seeing them just pushing that little bit harder, because it's just not it's not what we get a massive chance to see. So yeah, hopefully they do give it a bit more of a go. That would be good. What will be the next big innovation? I think it will be from Red Bull. Oh no, I think it's most likely to come from a Red Bull or Ferrari, I guess. Unless another team is hiding something. There's a lot of empty air in that Aston Martin side pod, so I don't know if they're going to do something really special with their side pods come the Bahrain race or come day 3, maybe something like that. Not entirely sure, or if they're they designed a car to make the side pods as wide as they can, because basically you either want to go with really wide side pods or really narrow side pods. That's sort of the two routes you want to go with it. Horner's rumoured to have said saying illegal parts on the Mercedes, but he tried to pull back that statement. Yeah, I think they realised as well that they were probably just wrong and wanted to pull back the statement. They probably had like a theory saying, oh yeah, no, this could be illegal, whatever, and then just realised it wasn't. Like, it genuinely could be something just as simple as that. There we go, Leclerc. Yeah, he's out on track now, so hopefully we do get a slightly more exciting run in from Charles. I think all teams are sound, but yeah, they are all still, because bear in mind the best time in testing last season I think was a 28.9. So from Max Verstappen 28.9, they're gonna go quicker. They're all gonna go quicker, but it's it's more getting a gauge on how the cars are handling. That's much more important at the moment. Yuki might be about to improve here. We don't know. The actual timing isn't working properly, so we're not getting the sector colours, but he needs to beat 37.7. He does, he beats it. He does a 37.692, so a very, very slight improvement from Yuki Tsunoda, and he's on a set of C3 tyres now. So there he goes. What are we seeing? No, oh yeah. Is the 2019 Renault bias system legal now? I don't know, actually, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure where it all stands on that. Will Ricciardo be on today? We don't know. Obviously, he's missing the morning session because he's again feeling ill, suffering with the illness that he's got. No idea what it is. There hasn't been much to do. Apparently, it is a stomach-related issue. So, yeah, not entirely sure what's going on with Daniel, but hopefully he does get better and we'll be able to see him out on track. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to expect from Daniel today. Hopefully, we do get to see him out on track in the afternoon, but I don't know. Has porpoising reduced for the teams? I think definitely so far today. I'm seeing a lot less porpoising going on. I think the teams did know the solution to it, but they were a lot of yesterday was testing just what the effect would be, how much they need to correct for it, and things like that. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. And again, I'm still just mesmerised by the gills that's on the Haas side pods, because for some reason they've made it black, and it's really off-putting. They need to paint those things white. It's really annoying me. But yeah, has the porpoising reduced? Yes, that's what answer to that one I think would be yes. I'm seeing a lot less of it. It's a lot less aggressive where we are seeing it. Even the AlphaTauris, who are, I think, them and Mercedes, the biggest sufferers yesterday. There was a little bit on the Mercedes earlier, so like they're not completely free of it, but it doesn't seem to be as bad. Oh, massive lock up for Mick down into turn 1. Front left tyre just locking as he goes onto the brakes. Waiting for what Nui will bring to fight the powerful aircraft and the naughty bathtub. Okay, we're not going to refer to the cars as that as the season goes on. But yes, it will be a fun one. We're seeing some of the upgrades already on the car today, so they'll just be testing it a little bit. And I'm sure we're going to see over the next sort of day and a half, we're going to see just everything slowly come on a little bit more by more. And I still think probably by the end of tomorrow, the car's going to look pretty different to what we've got today. That's how quickly these cars are changing. So looks much better from the Russian Olympic F1 team. Big lock, yeah, it was a massive lockup, big lockup from Mick. But yeah, I don't think he flat spotted. He got off it fairly early. Did sort of miss turn one, but I think he might be okay. At RaceBeacon, if the Merc side pods are legal and is helping speed-wise, would other teams adapt to that kind of a design? Well, you see, the issue is it's quite a hard design to nail down. So, while yes, they may look at it, and if it proves to be very effective, you know, straight line speed and things like that, I do think we could maybe see something like that from a lot of teams for around Monza time. Because they'd want it in Monza Spa, you know, the races where straight line speed is a little bit more important. But, you know, it's going to take... It's going to take so long to, you know, have a package that tightly... Well, yeah, have a layout that tightly packaged is quite impressive. I hope Mercedes is okay. If not, I feel sorry about Russell. Well, yeah, I know, that's the thing. Spent all those years waiting at Williams to get a chance in a Mercedes. If he goes there and it's the year they're not good, it's a bit it's a little bit rough, that one. Yeah, not ideal. Is no one tweeting, or is the tweet deck just broken? Okay, no, the tweet deck was just broken. Brilliant. I was wondering why no one had tweeted for 13 minutes. I'm like, hang on, we're following all the teams and not a single one's trying to do PR. Everyone got Ferrari's introduced tweet floor. Yeah, we saw the tweet floor a little bit as well. Bahrain test F1 decides no fans are allowed. Oh, that's Barcelona. Thousands of fans complain. Bahrain F1 test decides that fans are allowed. Not a single fan shows up. And that's the thing I've seen as well. There's just no fans here. And it's a shame. They've done it the wrong way round, really. They should have started with Bahrain when the cars are going to be completely different. They should have gone to Barcelona last week, let's say, or, you know, midweek, you know, right there now. And then given an extra week or something till the season starts. Because what we're getting now is that all of the teams are just getting data on Bahrain, a track we're racing at in a week's time anyway. And with mostly the same parts. But if they had if they had different parts for the first test in what was Barcelona but would be Bahrain under our new system, it maybe would have been a little bit better and we would have seen some of these parts rushed over maybe. It's a shame, but they've done it the wrong way around, not let the fans in, and it's a real shame because ultimately we lose out because of it, of course. Is W13 fine? I mean, it seems fine, you know. It's not there's nothing to raise concerns too much. They've sort of fixed the porpoising issues. It's nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday. Same story for AlphaTauri. But look, they just haven't done any form of performance runs. They're about 50 kilometers an hour slower down the main straight. They're just simply not pushing that hard at the moment. Can't wait to see proper lap times. No, that's of course what we're all looking forward to. We all want to see those proper lap times start to come in, and we can properly see how these cars handle when they, you know, actually put some oomph into it. The Alpine looked a little bit twitchy on their quick run. I think that's the closest we've seen to a performance run from any team so far. But look, we're only 2.5 hours into the day, and we've already seen an improvement on lap times from most of the drivers, to be honest, compared to yesterday. So I do think as the day goes on, we're going to get some quicker lap times. It's certainly not going to get slower, so yeah, fingers crossed it all speeds up a little bit. Right, I'm going to try to get what Mick Schumacher's new time was. I hope they've actually updated it now so we can see it. That'd be absolutely great. So Mick Schumacher currently sitting P8. He did a 1:37.846. 1:37.846. It's obviously just leapfrogging George Russell there. There we go. Brilliant. Like I said, I've got so many things open at once because I'm again still at home rather than my proper set. Was Williams crash big? It wasn't a crash. It was basically the brakes caught fire because they were catching on something, started overheating, caught fire, burnt themselves out, basically locked, and then yeah, basically that's what happened. it looked a bit more dramatic than it probably was, and then of course the Pirelli tyre exploded as well with all of the heat going on. So yeah, not a great situation, but yeah, 128 was so we saw 128.9 from Max Verstappen last year in pre-season testing. I do think there's actually a chance now these cars are like 2 seconds a lap slow because they don't handle as well from what we've been seeing. Ooh, as I'm saying that, Yuki Tsunoda massive lock up front left going into turn 10. I started today trying to count how many lockups there were at turn 9 and turn 10. I got to about 15 an hour in and just stopped counting because I realised that there was a lot more than I thought there was. They're all soundbite. Yeah, they all are at the moment. You know, we've just got to wait for some better times to be set. But like the thing is, at the moment, we're just looking for handling. I think that's the most important thing because we are now at the stage where these cars are fairly similar to what we're going to be seeing, you know, when we actually rock up to Bahrain. Not a lot of the parts are going to change too dramatically. So, yeah, that'll be a fun one to watch. But if turn 9 and 10 is anywhere near as big an issue in the race and in qualifying and in practice as we're seeing here in testing, it's going to be a pretty interesting weekend. Very interesting weekend. What do you think? What do you think McLaren is at this pace? So, I'd still stand by. I think McLaren could quite comfortably be the fourth fastest team on the grid, but we've got to see a bit more running from them. I think we haven't got a lot of running in today from old Nozza and McLaren. So, I know. Let's do a quick update on the lap count as well. So let's see how all of these lap counts have changed. George Russell, this is all since the red flag period. So Russell has done he's done 20 laps. We haven't seen much of him at all. He did come out, I think, did installation laps, so I don't think they've ever updated it on here. Verstappen has done 26 laps. Charles Leclerc up to 17. See, I haven't seen a lot of him. A lot of the top teams not doing. There we go. George Russell is actually back out on track now, so he's out there right now on a set of C3 tyres. So maybe we're going to see an improvement from George. Lando on 6. Have they actually updated this? Have the race updated this lap count? Because I know people have been out on track doing all of this, so I don't know if they've just not updated it. Yeah, it seems as though they've just not updated. They're slacking. The race is slacking. I'll use Autosport instead. Here you go. So George Russell is he's on 28 now. Yeah, he was on a prototype tyre. I was right, but it's a C2 prototype, I think. Max Verstappen. He's done 29 laps. You've got Charles Leclerc on... Where's Leclerc? There he is, 24. All update again. Ocon up to 31 laps. Yeah, he's done a pretty decent job, to be honest. George, just a little bit of a lock-up as well as he's going around the track. Norris up to 9 laps. You've got Yuki Tsunoda on 26 laps. You've got Sebastian Vettel. He's up in the 40s now. 42 laps to his name. So he's got... he's definitely the highest runner so far. Lap count wise, Nicholas Latifi 12. Obviously, he hasn't improved since his brakes decided to catch fire a little bit earlier on. Valtteri Bottas has done 18 laps. Yeah, there we go. So that was actually, you know what? There, George Russell 291 kilometers an hour down at the speed trap. Obviously, they're nowhere near the 200 miles an hour that you deem a sort of respectable time. So they're still quite far off the pace at the moment on the engine modes. Or they're just ridiculously high drag cars, who knows? We just didn't know it. Right, what we've got going on. It looks like another stuck in the pit day for McLaren. It does, doesn't it, a little bit at the moment. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Actually, I think Lando's just come right to the end of the pit lane now. So he's just done a little pit lane practice start. He's coming out on track. Hopefully we'll see him do a bit of a long run now, actually, because it'd be good to see McLaren get some more laps in. Because obviously we have pretty high hopes for them this year. We want to be right up at the front end, giving it a bit of a proper fight. It's always what we want to see. Even if the cars are loaded with high fuel level, I still think after these testing, these cars are a lot slower than everyone thinks in comparison. Yeah, you know, I'm starting to come that way as well, you know, now. I think there's a potential chance these cars are easily 1.5, 2 seconds slower than last year. I don't think it's going to be much more than that, to be honest. I still think there is an element of, you know, sandbagging going on. And I think even at the end of testing, we probably won't hit quite the limit. Because people with these new regulations, the teams, they just want to hide it a lot more. That's the thing. Do you agree that Massey has been sacked? I mean, I agree that Massey has been sacked. Do I agree that Messi should? I called for it. I called for it directly after the race, and it wasn't because of that race. That was just another mistake in a very long line of things that he got wrong. I was annoyed he got sacked because my plan was at the end of this year to make a video on all the things he got wrong, so that was a bit annoying. Or at some point in the pre-season potentially. So that was a bit rude of the FIA. They didn't consult me before doing that. Maybe tomorrow we can see some quick timing. Well, I mean, yeah, I think even today, though, we're going to see some pretty decent timing, especially in the afternoon session. We're going to see some slightly more aggressive times going. Silverson, yes, obviously Drive to Survive just came out as well. I have watched the last episode, and I don't know, obviously I'm not going to give any, like, spoilers. Obviously, everyone knows who won the championship, but I don't give any, like, spoilers away of what sort of went on. I don't know, I was a little bit disappointed by it. I feel like there should have been a bit more in it. I think the FIA quite clearly had a fair bit of control about what was going to be allowed to be posted or not, and I think the show did probably suffer as a result of that, which is a bit of a shame. Why is everyone so slow? Well, I don't know. I think a good 2-3 seconds of this could just be the cars legitimately being slower. Maybe 1.5, 2 seconds or so. But I mean, Ocon this morning, he was putting in, he was trying. He wasn't going ridiculously slow or anything. Let me tell you, sorry, drivers will push car up to, push car but not up to quality level because they don't want others to fight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm looking at how many locked brakes. So this means they're going to try to push, but it doesn't work well. Well, I mean, to an extent, I think they're still trying to brake at similar points to where they were last year, and it's just going wrong basically. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on Lando Norris's speed trap here when he eventually does start his lap, because it'll be interesting to see what sort of modes they've got that engine in, or what fuel loads they're running. What happened to Williams? So basically what happened was I think what's been said is that the brakes were clipping something, started to overheat. Obviously you've got all that friction going, started to overheat, caught fire, burnt themselves out as the lap went on. Obviously Lucas Latifi tried to get it back to the pit lane, and then unfortunately the rear brakes just completely locked, and car spun, and that was his day over, because it's meant to be Alex in the afternoon. Hopefully he will get out there on track. Actually, no, it's not meant to be Alex in the afternoon. It's Latifi's all day today, so that won't impact Alex later. Merc is not looking strong even after the radical sideboards. I don't know, like, the car seems to be handling a little bit better today. And they absolutely categorically haven't tried for a push lap yet. There is absolutely no chance that they're going to end up being 9th quickest, so... I've got C5, yes, but timing will be better than today. Yeah. Just push carbon out to quite low because they don't want to. I was fine. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, basically, they've taken away the speed trap on the McLaren just as it's starting the laps. Right, it's Lando Norris on a set of C2 tyres, starting his lap now. Doubt he's going to be able to improve. It doesn't look like he's pushing particularly hard. Slightly missing the apex at turn 1, obviously cold tyres. Yeah, he's absolutely not pushing too hard at all. Big snap of oversteer, though, on the exit of the corner. Up at turn 3, as we're climbing up into turn 4 now. We'll see what the Sector 1 split's like. You never know, he might have improved if he's on slightly... The car just looks very heavy at the moment. Yeah, he's absolutely not improving. 2 seconds down in Sector 1 compared to Ocon's time. And obviously, he's only 3.2 seconds slower in general. My thoughts on Drive to Survive Season 4? Well, like I say, from what I've seen so far, I've only seen episode 10. I watched that one before coming in because I wanted to get some, extra footage of Abu Dhabi and stuff like that. But if you're going into it with the hope of getting some extra footage of Abu Dhabi that you probably haven't seen already, you probably won't be particularly amazed by it, which is a shame because I was really wanting it to be... I was expecting a good 10-20 minutes covering behind the scenes. Ooh, Lando, don't get on the curb there. Nearly losing the rear end, just got a little bit beached on the curb. But yeah, I wanted a lot more extra footage, and we ended up with pretty disappointed on that front, to be honest. But I mean, I don't know. I think they did a good job covering the race itself. They covered the race weekend really well. But yeah, no, unfortunately, they just didn't get. I don't know. I feel like there was. I don't blame Netflix for it, because I do blame the FIA, I think, and or F1 Media, Liberty, whatever, because obviously, ultimately, they have the final say of what goes into that documentary, and I think, or what goes into the series, and I think it was one of those things of maybe if people who don't understand the sport get told in a simplified way what happened in Abu Dhabi, it's not a good look for the sport. As much as good drama it would be, it's I think ultimately the FIA thought, you know what, let's just not include that, which is a shame because I really did want like 20 minutes on it. I was also a little bit disappointed by the end because they didn't really they only had Toto at the end. They did, you know at the end of all the other seasons they've typically had they typically have all of the drivers, all the team principals, and they will have like a line or two with some like, you know, really hype up music playing. It really gets you going for the season, you know. It really does build hype like really well. And then it just goes. Yeah, you just get one interview with Toto and it's gone. And you're like, wait, that's it. Okay, we're done now. Cool. So what we've got all teams soundbite. Yeah, they are still at the moment. That's ultimately the frustration we've got, but the times are only going to get quicker as the day goes on. I think this afternoon we will get, hopefully, someone giving it a proper go on the C5s, being a little bit braver than what we've seen on other days. Is Ricciardo coming tomorrow or not? We don't know. It depends how he's feeling, basically. I mean, so far it's only Lando's only confirmed for the morning session, so I guess there's a slimmest of chance that he's going to be in the afternoon. Ricciardo. Lap timings update. I think the timings are up to date, aren't they? 1598, 1744, 2711, 3261, 3416, 3570, 4309, and 5569. Yeah, all the lap times are right as far as I'm aware. And the lap counts haven't changed too much. There's only 2 cars out on track at the moment. We've got Lando Norris and George Russell circulating as of right now. George has put a decent amount of laps in the last few minutes, I believe. So he'll have pumped in a few more. We'll do that in a few minutes. We'll do the lap count update. So here we go. Let's see George Russell go down to. It's not porpoising too much at all anymore. It's a little bit bumpy, but I mean I think that's more down to the track. Honestly, I think by the looks at Mercedes have sort of figured out their porpoising problem. They're running a slightly higher ride height than yesterday, which could be playing a bit of a part, actually. It does look like they have got a slightly higher ride height, because I noticed how low that car looked to the ground yesterday. There is a little bit of a gap between the floor now and the ground. So, not actually, mind you, not much. It's a little bit more at the front end, maybe, which could be what's fixing it. I don't know, but I think Merc is struggling this time. It's like the design is not like their need, so they're changing the design of their radical side. Well, no, obviously they'd have had those radical side pods, you know, in mind for a very long time. Like they haven't just turned up with that sort of thing. That is the main thing that they think is going to work on their car. So it's not like a knee-jerk reaction trying to give it a go or anything. But yeah. We've got Motorsport. So Mercedes has borrowed a few little tricks from Rocket Technology to call its 22 F1 car, according to Simmons. Oh, motorsport.com, very slow on that one. So yeah, we saw a little bit earlier. It's about a half-hour, 45-minute segment of Ted Kravitz and Pat Simmons walking down the pit lane, just looking at all of the different innovations that the team have got, that all the different teams have got. It was a really cool segment, to be honest. You gotta love Merc. I doubt they are pushing hard yet. Well, no, they're not pushing hard yet. They're not. But look, I don't know. I feel like Alpine are probably the team that have pushed the hardest so far today. Vettel did a decent time on C3s, I guess. You know, to be actually no, he's 1.7 off Leclerc, so not really. I know it's interesting. It's just not getting us raw lap times, and no one's really doing race runs either, which is really annoying because it means we can't properly analyse it. So I don't really know. For the most part, I don't really know what a lot of the teams are actually doing out there, but. Obviously just testing some parts, making sure everything correlates with what they expected. Mercedes doing a very slow pit stop practice, and then they're going to bring George into the garage. And no, they're taking back out actually. They're doing some work on the car, so just making sure. Something on the floor on the right hand side actually. They were giving a proper look at there as George goes back out on the track. So there we go. We've now got 3 cars out on track: Ocon, Russell, and Norris. Yesterday, Alex did well on testing. Yeah, he did a really good job. He got loads of laps in. Didn't make any major mistakes, unlike Perez, who got a lot of laps in himself, but of course making that mistake. Alex did a pretty decent job until there was that hydraulics issue. How can I watch a test live? Well, it depends where you are in the world. I know. It basically just depends where you are in the world. Because I've got Sky Sports F1. Because if you're in the UK, Ireland, I think Italy have got it. Probably Germany as well. But apart from that, I don't really know. Probably Spain, I imagine. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's mostly European countries who have access to it, which is a bit rubbish. Where's the video? Well, I can't show it for copyright reasons. Because if I'm going to be streaming for, you know, 2.25 hours and then 5 hours or 4 hours or whatever, I would quite like it to stay monetized. Because otherwise, I feel like that's a lot of time to put in to not get a lot out. Ferrari made a strong start to the F1 2022 second test in Bahrain on Thursday with second and third fast times. Some floor upgrades too. So that's all sport covering some of the new upgrades that we've got. So the Alpine back out on track. Ocon's on a set of C2 tyres, so I doubt we're going to see an improvement from him. But it will be interesting to see if he can get somewhat close to the time he set on the C4s. I think Ocon will be much better for Williams. Yeah, who knows? I think he could very easily end up at a team like Williams. I don't know where Ocon goes next in his career. I don't know if he sort of ends up just staying with the French outfit with Alpine/Renault or what really. I don't know where he goes from here. Can I stream in Discord? Oh, well, I don't have it on my computer. That's the issue. I haven't got it. I'm watching it on TV. So yeah, unfortunately I can't do it in the Discord. Oh yeah, if you do happen to be new here, the top link in the description I believe is the Discord link. I'm pretty sure it is at least. Let me have a quick check about that. But yeah, if you want to join the Discord server, absolutely give it a go. We've got about how many people have we got in there now? We've got a lot of people. We've got 843 people in there. So if you wanna join the community, we have some good chat about F1, and there's also some videos as well that like Aman's posting, and there's some photos as well of stuff that's going on in testing in there. So yeah, if you want to have a quick look at all of that sort of thing, then you know, just give the Discord server a little bit of a join, and yeah, we also have the F1 Fantasy League as well. So that's a pretty fun thing. We're going to do some prizes for whoever whoever performs well in that come the end of the year. What we've got? So what we've got? Totally new aerodynamic laws. Yeah, completely. You're looking at different aspects now of the cars with these new regulations. It's a different philosophy. Can I stream the Sky Sports stream for it? No, unfortunately not, because it's on my TV rather than on my computer. So I don't know anywhere where I'd get it on computer, because I always just watch it on TV. Do you watch F2? I do watch F2. Yeah, F2, F3, W Series, Formula E. Probably they're the ones I watch the most. WEC whenever it happens to be on. I'm trying to get into IndyCar a bit more, and then I'll watch whatever. If NASCAR happens to be on, if I see people tweeting about NASCAR, I will sometimes put it on. That's I watch a fair bit of motorsport, to be fair. Thoughts on Alpha and Bottas? I don't know. I mean, I keep being encouraged, to be honest. I don't know if they're just pushing hard as some other teams, but they do keep popping up with some sort of decent lap times. Relative, like position wise, rather than actual lap times themselves. So I don't know whether that's going to be a bit of a false thing, but for me, they're still. I think Alpha are going to be in my bottom two teams still, to be honest. Yeah, they're getting a lot of money from Guan Yu Zhou, but you won't see the benefits of that until, you know, next year, the year after, potentially. So it takes a lot of time for extra money to actually filter through the system. You know, we've seen that with Aston Martin now. Drove past Silverstone the other week, and it was absolutely. What they're doing at the Aston Martin factory is absolutely mega. They are putting so much money into that. What they are doing is so big. Yeah, Aston Martin, I think, you know, five years down the line, when everything, you know, factory's finished, everything's going to be completely done, all the money's going to be, you know, regularly coming through. You've got years and years of all that money adding up. I still think, yeah, I still think they're going to be right up there, but not yet. I still think you're going to have to wait a year or two more. I'm going to do a quick lap count update now, because they definitely have changed, so I'll do a quick update for everyone. So we've got the most up-to-date lap count. All the lap times are, as far as I'm aware, completely up-to-date, but yeah, here we go. So George Russell, we said he was doing some long runs. He's on 39 laps now. Verstappen, don't think we've seen him out for a while. No, we haven't. He's only done 3 laps. Yeah, not a lot recently. There we go. Charles Leclerc talking to, I believe, yeah, someone at Ferrari. Talking about, I think, what they're doing with the pit box this year, which is quite interesting, actually. So yeah, Charles Leclerc not looking at all ready to go out on track, so I think it's going to be quite some time till we see him back out. Charles Leclerc has done 32 laps, though. He won't be adding to that for quite some time, I imagine. Lando Norris up to 15. So he's putting a couple more out. He came out and did another 6 laps, and has come back into the pits. It's only Esteban Ocon out there on track at the moment. He was on the hard tyres, so I think he's doing a bit of a long run now on 33 laps so far. Yuki Tsunoda up to 28. So again, we saw a couple laps coming in from him. Vettel we haven't seen since the last updates. He's still on 42. Nothing new on his end. And here we go. We're just seeing Ocon down the straight. No porpoising on that Alpine car at all, which is good because there were some concerns that they were going to be one of the teams that's struggling a little bit more with it. Obviously, Nicholas Latifi, he hasn't been back out on track since that brake fire that caused that red flag, so he won't be back out on track for quite some time. The team are going to figure out what went on there, try to fix the issue, and yeah, they won't be back out on track until that issue is fixed, they have said, so, or until they know what caused the issue and it's fixed. Norris another day stuck in pit lane. I mean, a little bit. I really don't know what McLaren are doing here. I don't know whether they just have less updates, so they're not doing as much running. I don't really know, to be honest. Bottas just 2.7 seconds behind fast lap with a hard tyre. Wow, yeah, that's what, you know, I think Bottas keeps popping in some, like, fairly decent performances. You know, I think yesterday he did alright, I think. This could be quite embarrassing if he didn't. What was it? Yeah, he did pretty good yesterday. P7 on a set of C3 tyres, 1.5 off the pace of a C5 runner in Gasly. So I don't know, I think Bottas may be in pretty good stead. So let's go back to today's running. There we go. So Esteban Ocon out there on track at the moment. The fastest sector times we've seen so far, Esteban Ocon 29.7 in Sector 1, Charles Leclerc 40.7 in Sector 2, and Ocon a 23.598 in Sector 3. So, yeah, there we go. There's our sector. And there's definitely more time in all of those. So, Esteban Ocon, I believe he set the fastest time we've seen overall so far. Let me just have a quick... I don't think he has. I think, yeah, he's still a little bit off of what Pierre Gasly was able to do yesterday. 33.9 compared to a 34.2. So, considering that was on C4s, I think there's definitely more time there. But we have to bear in mind that Pierre Gasly only improved by about a tenth when he went to those C5 tyres. So, it's not a big gap between the two from what we have seen so far, from the one example we've seen of it so far. So... Obviously, we're going to have to wait till some more drivers give it a go. But potentially, you know, tyres could just be a little bit too soft for Bahrain. Obviously, the C5 tyre. I don't think we are running with a C5 in Bahrain for round 1. So, could maybe be a case where it's just a little bit too soft, not lasting the whole lap, really. Yeah, all teams are sandbags. So, yeah, I'm still going with that. I think probably Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, maybe some of the teams that are pushing a little bit more. Aston Martin maybe as well at a push, but I don't know. I don't think it's massive, to be honest. Jack and Jones is back to F1. That's pretty cool to see. I assume, yeah, who with actually. So some lovely pictures on the right hand side on Twitter of the Mercedes car. As it's, you know, it's out on track right now. Okay, it says they're not out on track right now, but the TV graphic is absolutely wrong because I'm staring at that George Russell going down into turn 1. No big lockups, nothing too dramatic. He is on the C2 tyres, so he's probably going for a little bit more of a long run there. Esteban Ocon as well, still on track himself. I believe those are the only two cars out on track at the moment, as far as we can tell. Will Bottas and Alfa Romeo find more speed? I don't know. I think, yeah, well, I think they will, because I still think most of the teams on the grid here easily have, like, you know, 3-4 seconds. Maybe not 4 seconds for a Rock. Well, I don't know, actually. Maybe more like 2-3 seconds. Really, this all just comes down to how much slower the cars are this year compared to last. And that's an unknown, because you never know, actually. Oh, these teams might have actually been pushing. You never know. Ocon might have been giving it his all. But the cars are just so much slower that it looks like they're not pushing. It all looks really hard to drive. And the cars are definitely harder to drive this year, no doubt. For full context, I don't think they are 5 seconds a lap slower than they were last year. But, you know, we don't know for an absolute fact they're not. That's the thing, because it's so new. Will porpoising still be an issue in the first race? I mean, I don't think it's as much of an issue now at all. We haven't really seen anyone porpoising today. It hasn't been too much of a problem. So what I was saying here, K-Mag or Hulkenberg for Haas. I mean, for me, I probably would have gone Hulkenberg because I was expecting them to go Hulkenberg. But look, Kevin Magnussen's he's a very quality driver. He's a good driver. So yeah, I think, you know, choosing between Magnussen and Hulkenberg, you've got two fairly decent drivers there. Hulkenberg's probably marginally better, but Magnussen, you've got the benefit of him being experienced with the team. He knows the people there, so I don't know. I feel like it's probably not much of a loss really. I think it's pretty similar either way overall. Can't wait for the new layout Australian Grand Prix. No, I can't either. That's gonna be really good to see. I was looking forward to it last year, but unfortunately, obviously, had to be cancelled, which was a shame. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it because it should promote racing along with these regulations as well. What do I think about Alpine? Is there any more to come from them? I don't know. I still feel like they're the underperformers. I mean, they're currently winning. Sure, they're currently top of the timesheet. But I don't know. I just don't know with them. It's really difficult to tell. They've lost quite a lot of running in the last few days of testing. Obviously, Ocon getting some laps in now. He's right. He's been out on track for about 10 minutes just circulating. So he is getting some more laps in. But yeah, it's good to see. Ocon, yeah, absolutely can go. Yeah, I think he's got even. Yeah, I was gonna say he's got even more now. And then yeah, hey, hello Aishan, how are you doing? How are you doing? Good to see you around. And there we go. I mean, I don't know. There might be a chance that you can hear Martin Brundle talking at some points, but who knows? Australia should be a season opener, not Bahrain. I agree. Australia should just be the season opener because it's nostalgia. I'm used to it. They should have to stick to it because I'm used to it and I don't like change. They're not allowed to change it. What's Alpha doing currently? Alpha currently doing not a lot, to be honest. I don't think Bottas has been out on track for a fair few minutes. He put in a fairly decent run, to be fair. C2 tyres getting P5, only 2.7 off the pace. Not that bad. Not that bad. Bodes well for them. Hello from Malta. Hello, Leander. How are you doing? How are you doing? Tom saying, is Mercedes just sandbagged like usual? Well, I mean, I hope so, because I'd be surprised if they're 4.3 off the pace. But look, I think we've got a situation where the Mercedes is clearly quite a difficult car to handle. It doesn't seem particularly smooth. It doesn't look like it's fun to drive. So really, a lot of it's going to come down to how quickly they can figure out how their setup works, how they configure their setup and get it fully working for them. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's still no massive cause for concern. Like there was a pre-season testing where they were like 7th and 8th fastest, and then just absolutely dominated the year. So it doesn't mean a lot, these testing times at all. And we will see them go for some quicker times. I think Mercedes are like one of the only teams we're not going to see any real performance running from at all. Like even a hint of performance running. I think they'll just save it. They think they know what they can do. They'll turn the engine up here and there, but they won't actually give it a go. They might go like the C2 tyres and turn the engine up maybe. And be on high fuel at the same time, just to make sure they don't go quicker and set the world like. Because no one wants to top testing. The small teams sometimes do, because it can sort of build some hype behind them. But typically the big teams don't want to do it because if you've got all the big teams at the top and it's in a certain order, then everyone's going to say, oh, okay, so Ferrari have built the quickest car, or Red Bull or Mercedes have built the quickest car. When that could just not be the case. You've just pushed a little bit harder than the other ones. So I think they just want to sort of discourage any like-for-like comparisons, really. Especially when they've all gone for such different designs, because Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull have gone for completely different core philosophies with their car. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a fun one. That's the magic pre-season testing. We just don't know. That's why it's so fun. Yeah, that's what makes it so good. So yeah, just watching the Red Bull out on track at the moment. So that's obviously Max Verstappen on a set of, I believe, is that the it's C1 or C2 tyres. Quite hard to tell because they're in split screen at the moment. So it's not the best way to tell. We've got C3 tyres on the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda at the moment. We've got Ocon. Yeah, he's doing pretty well today, Alvaro. He's doing pretty well so far today. Druvula versus Teo versus Lawson for F2. I feel like Druvula might be a little bit overhyped. I mean, I know I'm going to say this and he's going to end up like winning the championship or something. But for me, you got to go like Porsche or Lawson, something along those lines, definitely. Corporate program makers' opinions. So yeah, that was quite an interesting comment that Verstappen made yesterday, saying that his opinion on Drive to Survive was ruined after season 1. So I think he quite liked it in season 1, then season 2 it's just like a bit too fake. I think was his issue. We'll learn the 2022 pecking order tomorrow. You'll get right. So the thing is with testing, typically about 70-80% of the grid is actually in the right order. The only issue is there's no way of knowing which ones are in the right order, so you can't draw a proper conclusion. You can look at it and go, okay, the grid's going to look something like that, but there's always 1 or 2 teams that are just completely out of place, and you never know which ones that's going to be. Yeah, so yeah, if you take the grid as a whole and look at it and go, oh, okay, so everyone's in this order, you can go, yeah, like, but you can't take, let's say, Ferrari and go, okay, they're definitely going to be quickest. Because they could end up 5th. You just don't know. You don't know with the teams. But typically, in the past, it has been fairly accurate. There's just no way of telling which team is out of position. So, I mean, sort of is the answer to that. You can look at it and go, okay, so, like, if you take the top 3, like, 2 of those probably are definitely going to be up there. That's the sort of thing you can say. Max World Champion 2022. Easy clap. Well, who knows? Who knows? That's the thing, we're going to have to wait till Q3. I've still got Ferrari winning the first race, but I do think I've got Leclerc winning Bahrain. That's my that's where my money's at. I don't know if I'll be seeing that money again, but is Merck really pushing, or is it that they're gathering data? I mean, they're definitely just gathering data at the moment. We're not seeing any form of performance run from them. I think we're starting to see slightly harder push laps from Leclerc and Sainz yesterday. I do think we're seeing a little bit more of that Ferrari car. There's no speed trap data. Albert, give us the speed trap data, please. That's a fun one. But yeah, look, don't, like I say again, don't read too much into the times yet. You can a little bit later, definitely a little bit later. But I think this afternoon you can look at it and you'll have a decent idea of what's going on. Yeah, gathering data. I think Red Bull and Merc are sandbagging a lot. I agree. I absolutely agree there. I think Mercedes definitely more than Red Bull. We have seen more competitive times coming out the Red Bull camp. But still, I don't think what they're going to be able to do. Will anyone try and emulate qualifying? Yeah, it will. Someone tomorrow will try to do it, and potentially this afternoon as well. It will happen. Someone will try it. Someone will give it a go. Hello, a bit late today. Yeah, well, I don't know if you mean you or me. I mean, yeah. But no, good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm just watching a Haas out on track at the moment of Mick Schumacher. So we've got 4 cars out on track right now. No, that's 5 actually. That's 5. We've got Ocon, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher and George Russell. They're the 5 out on track right now. As long as Perez just doesn't hit him, bin him again. Yeah. Which is better, P3 in a C2 tyre or P1 in a C3 tyre? I'd say P1 on C3 because the gap's probably... Well, it depends how close you are to P1, I'd say. Because I think the gap between C2 and C3 is about 7-8 tenths from what we've seen so far. So, you know, if you're 2 tenths off and you're P3 on a set of C2s, then I'd say it's probably better than first. But 2 tenths ahead on C3s. A tad off topic, why does the FIA ban all new innovations, for example, DAS or soon maybe a side pod? Well, it's one of those things of they design the rules, especially more recently, in a way, because ultimately they want a good racing product. That's the core thing that they want. They want the racing to be good. So, I mean, I don't know, it's a tricky one, because basically you've got to balance the fine line between keeping competition and also... you know, making it fair. You need a good show, but also you can't just ban anything that you don't like. I think with DAS, it was something that was never intended, and it's not something that they wanted. Like, the FIA didn't want the sport to go in that direction, so they said, look, you can use it for this year, but going forward you can't. Like, this isn't the way we want the sport to go. And the side pods, as far as I'm aware, are going to be completely legal, so yeah, they're letting them keep that one. Why is no face cam? Because I woke up very, very early and I am in no condition to be on camera streaming right now. Over the lunch... Oh, there's a breakdown. Over the lunch break, I will be getting ready to be on a camera. So, yeah, you get to see my pretty face over the course of the last 4 hours of the day. So Sebastian Vettel has broken down on track. That'll be a red flag. Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin. His second breakdown in the last 5 days of testing, which is a bit of a shame, but that will be a red flag, no doubt. Yeah. Oh no, Seb stopped on track, says Tammy. So there we go, yes. There's another red flag here. Well, it's not a red flag yet, but it's going to be, surely. Unless they can get this car started again pretty quickly. You'd think this will be a red flag, but they haven't red flagged it yet. So the cars are still out on track at the moment. We've got 5, 6 cars out there because Schumacher's transponder's not working by the looks of it. So you've got, yeah, maybe Schumacher is in the pits again now. McLaren's still having a bad day. Oh yeah, they haven't got a lot of laps in, which is weird. Sorry, just to... well, I don't know if it is red flag yet. They haven't confirmed the red flag. We're waiting to see what they do here. Vettel can get the car started again. Basically, Vettel has stopped out on track, so it's going to depend on whether they can get this car going again. And with only 50 minutes left in the session, if they can't get it going again, I think that will be his morning session over. And depending how big the issue is, depending on how big this issue is, it could be the end of their day, potentially. Okay, see, I'm not sure what's happening. There's still no red flag. I'm surprised there's still no red flag, because he is parked near enough on the racing line, actually, so... Or is he off track? Is he off... is he gone? He's gone on like the runoff bit. He's on like a different part of the track. What's going on here? This is weird. Is he asking for like a push? I want someone hold it. What's going on here? So he's gone off the track. Okay, so he's parked it over... okay, so it won't be a red flag, because he's basically... He has parked it fully off track. He is in like a runoff area, basically. He's in the... I think the main track. You know, when they first started using Bahrain as a track, I think he's in like the endurance layout. Yeah, near where the outer loop went. I think he's basically parked up near the outer loop. So yeah, we won't get a red flag, I don't think, because he's completely off track, which we've just seen on the replay. So there we go. There won't be a red flag. There won't be a red flag. Look at those tyres. Damn, I know there's a little bit of I don't know if that's pickup or graining or not. It's quite hard to tell because now the video feed's frozen as well. So okay, we've lost those tyres. It looked like potentially pickup more than graining, to be honest. I'm not sure. Not sure. Needed definitely a better look at it. So yeah, okay, that's weird. So how are they going to get the car with the flatbed? Well, how are they going to get the flatbed truck to go pick him up without... Okay, they're going to have to use some access roads. Okay, this is a real mess. I think Seb couldn't have picked a worse place to park the car there. So, yeah, Aston Martin probably won't be getting that car back for the next half hour because it is not in a conventional place at all. Well, yeah, he's completely off the track, though. He's gone to, like... Yeah, I think he's left at... No, it's before that. He's left off around, like, turn 6, turn 5 area. He's gone for, like, the endurance layout, like the outer loop sort of track. He's not on the track. He's completely gone. He's left the bounds. You want to play a little game I just made? Well, it depends what it is. Someone on fire. Actually, walk into the car. Yeah, fire extinguisher. So, yeah, not sure what's gone on there. Obviously, we haven't got any off-board footage of it because he's parked it up in a place where there isn't any, which is quite clever actually, because it means the team photographers and the TV cameras aren't going to get a good view of the car. So, quite clever actually. How to watch live in India on Twitch? I mean, I don't know. I don't really know because I've got it on TV, so I'm not looking for any form of stream because I'm watching it. So will there be 5 tyre choices during racing in 22, or will you be limited to one type of soft, medium? Yeah, so you'll be limited to soft, medium, or hard, like normal. And it will range between the five options you've got. So you've got C1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Some tracks C1 will be hard, C2 medium, C3 soft. Some tracks C3 will be hard, C4 will be medium, C5 will be soft. And I think it's Australia. They're running C2 hard, C3 medium, and C5 soft. So that's a purely qualifying tyre. Charles Leclerc getting the move done around the outside of Esteban Ocon down into turn 1, getting out of the way. Is Merck really that slow and 9th in pecking order, or are they sandbagging? Well, they're definitely going to be quicker than that. There's no doubt for me they're going to be quicker than P9. I don't question that for a second. They will be quicker. And again, I don't think it's sandbagging. They're just doing, higher fuel runs, getting the data that they need, and yeah. Okay. What are we seeing? Yeah, there's no official broadcast in India, I guess. Have been watching your stream along with WTF1. Thanks, you guys, bringing it to us. No worries at all. I was reading that if Merc got this set up right, they might just dominate again in the terms of speed. Well, that's obviously the potential that they've got. If they absolutely nail what they've got, they're in a great position. The question is, will they be able to do that? Because obviously it's easier said than done. You can't say, oh yeah, no, they're going to figure out the setup, they're going to win all the races. It's like, well, no, they've actually got to work for it. It's going to be difficult. I'm trying to look at. Yeah, I think that's more pickup on the on Vettel's tyres, to be honest. Maybe a little bit of graining on the left more than the right, but which would make sense around here. But yeah, weird one for Seb as he. I'll add Seb to the yellow now. Seb can become yellow. Where's he at? There we go. Seb is now yellow. There we go. That's a shame for him, but we won't be seeing much more of him this session, I don't think. Lando Norris is improving on a set of the test tyres, a test C2 compound. So Lando Norris about to improve, I imagine, by, I don't know, probably about a second here, come the end of the lap. Lando Norris on a set of test tyres, he's about to come across the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 35, I imagine. It is a 1 minute 36.354. Lando Norris, a 1:36.354 on a set of the test tyres. So there we go. Lando moving himself up into P5. You never know how much fuel they carry. Yeah, and that's a big thing. That's why we can't properly do it. Seb is back. Yeah, unfortunately he's stuck out on track. Will K-Mag run today? I believe the plan is to run him in the afternoon. I'm pretty sure that's what they're planning on doing. So hopefully we'll actually get to see him, which would be really cool. That'll be really fun to watch. Is Merc sandbagging? Well, put it this way, they can definitely go quicker. I do not doubt that. The main thing we can look at today is more the handling of the cars, and what we're very clearly seeing is the Mercedes is a bit more of a handful. It's not quite as smooth to drive. It looks like the drivers are struggling a lot more than some of the other teams, but it's not terrible. Vettel stopped on track 10.5. Well, yeah, he stopped off track more. Yeah, he's completely taken his car out of the main circuit, so that's the reason there was no red flag. So the TV will say Vettel's out on track, but he will not be. he will not be. Williams says it will revise our running plan once we have assessed the repair work that needs to be carried out, but it faces a big job to get out this afternoon. That's a real shame for Williams. Big shame. So obviously we saw Nicholas Latifi having that issue. It looked like that Red Bull was vibrating quite a bit when we came on board. That was a bit weird. But yeah, we saw the rear brakes catch on fire, so yeah. They can definitely go quicker knocked out in Q1. Yeah, I mean that would be something, wouldn't it? That really would be something. I don't. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. For them to go from the last few years to out in Q1, I don't see that happening. I mean, we saw George Russell's lap when he was setting it. He was not pushing that hard. Like he was very clearly not at full speed. So now we're going to see potentially overtake Max Verstappen on Lando Norris here. There could be a little bit of a battle, maybe. Who knows? They're following each other out on track. No, never mind. Max Verstappen darts into the pit lane. We're going to watch Netflix Drive to Survive. Well, I've already watched episode 10. I watched episode 10 before coming on. Gotta say, a little bit disappointed with it. I wanted loads of... I'm not going to spoil it too much, obviously. I'm not going to say what people said and things like that. But if you're going into it expecting a lot of footage from Abu Dhabi that wasn't seen before, like some stewards footage, things like that, some talk about the protests that maybe you never saw, don't. They don't even mention the protest or the post-race stewarding once. Not a single mention of it anywhere. I think, quite frankly, it's not their fault for that, though. I think it's the FIA saying, hang on, are we sure we want to portray this to the audience who doesn't understand F1 in a very simplified way? And I think ultimately that's the reason they haven't done it. Nice on board, Supermax. I assume they're... yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't blame them for it, because I imagine... it took quite a lot to get all of it signed off, which is it's just such a shame though, because the whole point of a fly on the wall documentary like Drive to Survive was meant to be, and like it was at the start, it gave us insight that didn't always paint the sport in the best way, and that's that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, it's sometimes good to see something that you really love and realize it's not perfect. It adds to it. It often adds to it. You realize they're all just people and not PR machines, but unfortunately the teams have turned it into a bit more of a PR game. And who can blame them? Tens of millions of people watch it, so yeah, well, hundreds of millions of people probably. There's a lot of Netflix users and a lot. We've got another bit of onboard from Sebastian Vettel. So his car is completely out of the track's bounds at the moment, or at least the current configuration of the track's bounds. He's got his helmet off. This is weird. You never see a car parked there. And yeah, apparently still the flatbed not there because they're showing it again. And he's the car's still very much there, and he's still sitting with his car. So obviously there's no fire or anything, no smoke around. So obviously just a small issue. They've stopped the car before anything could become any bigger. Hamilton robbed. We're not going to start that debate. We're not going to start it. I did a 4.5-hour stream post race. We're sticking with that. That's all we need to go into it. Is it time to be worried about McLaren? I still don't think so. No, I don't think there's anything to be overly worried about. They haven't got a great amount of running in, but when we've seen the car driving out on track, it's been quick. They've got the pace. The car doesn't seem like a handful to drive. The handling seems decent. I don't know. Potentially not a lot of running from McLaren could be seen as a good thing. Just simply because they seem a bit more comfortable. They don't seem to have the brake issues they had yesterday, because Lando was locking up a lot yesterday. That was a big issue. Almost every time we saw him, he was locking up. So, Seb's got his helmet off now. The race control car's there. Seb is staring into the car. This is really weird to see. I'm sure some screenshots will appear on Twitter in a minute or so. Is Ferrari back to the midfield this season? Well, no. I don't. I think they're gonna be right there at the top. I think they're probably the second quickest car. I think they might have the measure over Red Bull, at least at the start of the year. I can't speak for how quickly a teams are going to develop, because obviously that could go anyway. But I do think at the start of the season we are going to see Ferrari quicker than Red Bull. It's quite funny watching this actually. So yeah, Seb had plugged himself back into the communication system, probably to talk to his engineer, which is pretty cool actually, just to see, helmet off completely. It's pretty cool. It's right, I read that one. I believe that teams showing everything before the first qualifying laps is stupid. Don't show all your strengths until you have to. I think these days are to get your car done. Yeah, exactly. And that's what most teams are doing, That's that. I think, obviously, Ocon did try a bit of a qualifying sim. He did a very, very slow outlap and then gave it a go on those C4 tyres. So I think that's the closest we've got to any form of qualifying simulation so far. But sunset today is where it will be interesting, because you're at the stage where you're in fairly similar conditions to what it's going to be like for qualifying in a week's time now, a week and a day's time. You have to bear in mind, free practice 1 is in a week. That's it. The F1 season is starting in 7 days, which is pretty damn cool. But yeah, I think in the last hour of today, when the sun's gone down, that's when you're going to start to see some more aggressive lap times coming in, because it's more representative, it's more useful to do it. Ferrari, pretty solid stuff. Yeah, I'd say that sums up Ferrari perfectly so far. It's just been pretty solid. Nothing bad. They haven't set the world alight timing wise, but they've always been up there. So yeah, they've done a decent job. They should be really happy. What I think will be the standings in terms of race pace based on the test so far. Right, so if I have to go for the Constructors order, I do have the top 10 mentally in my head. I've changed it slightly throughout the course of this test from what I've seen after what we heard in Barcelona. So I'm going Mercedes fastest, Ferrari second, Red Bull third. They're all going to be pretty close. I think it's going to be changing. So you go see some pictures of Seb there that I was looking at on the TV. So yeah, that's going to be changing on a pretty regular basis. I think almost week by week as we go to different tracks, it's going to be changing. Then I think you have McLaren, who will be there on their day. Maybe half the races they might be able to compete for a podium or something. But other days they'll just be a little bit too far back. Then I think you're going to have Aston Martin ahead of Alpine, ahead of Williams or AlphaTauri. I'm still not sure which order to put them in yet. Williams have shown some decent pace. I might edge towards AlphaTauri more because, you know, historically, recently they've been a little bit better. But Williams, I think, have definitely jumped up close to AlphaTauri, which is good for them. Then I think you're going to go with Haas and Alfa Romeo in an order that I don't know, to be honest. There's still not a lot known about them. Why am I not using Facecam? Put it this way, I had to get up very early to start watching this, so I am in no condition visually to be on camera right now. I am wearing clothes. I just want to say that quick. I do want to clarify that. But no, I will be preparing myself to be on a camera over the course of the lunch break, and then then for the 4 hours, we will we'll have all full streaming. So there you go. Like it was in Barcelona, it will be. Merck's still porpoising a lot. Nope. It seems okay now. They seem to have. I think pretty much all of the teams have sorted out their porpoising issue. Whether that's because they're going slower down the straights, using like a reverse wake or something like that, rake even. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. Definitely, the porpoising is a lot smaller an issue than we've seen on other days. It's almost non-existent, to be honest, for most teams. I think they've sort of figured out what they need to do. What is a T? The T tyre, that is the testing tyre. So it is a C2 compound, but it is a Pirelli testing tyre. So it's C2, but a testing tyre. Is Alpha in an outlap now? I have no idea because they've gone split screen on F1 and they're showing a replay right now. So I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see. They're doing an interview with Gunther Steiner at the moment. Bit of a lock up from Charles Leclerc, just a bit of some replays of him on his lap. What did I have for breakfast? I haven't had proper breakfast. I'm going to skip straight to lunch, I think. What people say? But still think Mercedes will sandbag even during races if they get a 1 second lead. Other teams don't protest. No, I don't know. I don't think there's any point in that. That's just a bit of an extra risk. I don't know if it's, you know, I mean, look, they're not going to be so much quicker that they're completely unbeatable. Like, you know, it's not going to be that bad. Worst case scenario, they're going to have like a half a second gap or something. You know, they're not going to be like seconds and seconds ahead. The T tyre or Mr. T tyre ain't getting on no plane, fool. Oh god. Fair play, but oh god. What do you think about the Mercedes side pod design? Is it going to be faster? It should be, if they can figure out how to use it properly. It absolutely should be, because you're getting less drag and more clean air onto the rear wing, the rear end of the car. So, theoretically, should be quicker, as long as cooling's not an issue, but they're using that chemical coolant, obviously, so who knows. Testing tyres are the same, but from another factory for quality. I don't. Well, they're very similar. I know for a fact they're very, very similar. I don't know if they're exactly the same. I don't know how that, you know how that works, but it is very, very similar. So basically, it is a C2 tyre. And tell you what, 2.0 off the pace on C2s, not terrible, not terrible. If all these teams spend all this money on development, only to have the FIA ban their work is BS. If they want to be the same join Indy. Well, no, the thing is, the FIA only tend to ban innovations when it's not the route that they want to go down as a sport. So if a team comes up with something clever, it's very rare that they'll actually ban the team from using it immediately. What they'll often say, like they did with DAS, is, okay, look, you can use it for the rest of the season, okay? You can do that, but it must be gone the season after. Because if they see the series moving in a direction that they don't want it to, then I think they're fully within their right to step in and say, look, okay, what you've done is clever, you can use it, but not next year. Chemical warfare got to F1 before Russia, those spies got the wrong data, I guess. Seems like McLaren are only focusing on Norris. No, they're not focusing on Norris. Daniel's ill. He was meant to be in the car yesterday, all day. But, so this is Norris's day anyway. This is the day he was meant to be in. But apparently he's definitely in for the morning. Well, we know he's in for the morning session, but we don't know about the afternoon yet. Yeah, Ricciardo's feeling ill, yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately for Ricciardo, because I'd say Ricciardo, the first 6-7 races this year are so important for his F1 career. Very important. Because look, Lando's going to be at that team for a long time. He hasn't really got a lot more to prove. Obviously, he wants to develop as a driver. He wants to go further in his career and achieve more. But like he's proved already that he's a decent driver. Ricciardo hasn't quite shown that at McLaren yet. So we'll have to see. Are they going full speed? No, definitely not. Definitely not yet. Definitely not yet. Maybe in the future. So yeah, Gunstein has told Skyfire, so this is an interview that's going on right now, so Formula Racer is actually just tweeting out, which is quite useful. Has told Skyfire that one of the Haas's mechanics worked for 30 hours in a row and a team rushed to prepare their car for day one of tests. 30 hours in a row. And now can you see why, yeah, I want to work in F1, but not for any more than about 10 years, because I think it does take a toll on you very quickly. But yeah. This is similar in NASCAR. When teams or just one car figure out something that will give them a clear advantage, they'll dig it up and address it after one race. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, they don't do that in F1. You know, if a team does something clever, they do give them the chance to run it. It's not at all normal for F1 to ban it. So I like that approach. They just say, look, you can use it this year, but next year it needs to be gone. It needs to be gone. Because it's not the direction I want the sport to go in. That's the thing, you know. And again, they're in their right to do that. I agree with that, I think. It's not how the rules are now. If they get 8 teams, the FI. Oh yeah, of course they can. We know, but that's not going to happen. I don't see that happening with anyone so far. It's just not. It's not happening. Am I studying engineering? Yup, automotive engineering with motorsport. No protest and no pods. It's the way they're using the rear mirror wing for aero. Yeah, which is quite interesting as well. Also, there was a little bit of flex on the front wing on the Mercedes, and I think that's definitely something that teams will be interested in. Other teams will be interested in, because it definitely was flexing quite a lot, the front wing, when we saw the camera angle. Do you think that some drivers will gain or lose terrain with their driving styles this year? I mean, I don't know, because Daniel Ricciardo, you know, he was really struggling last year compared to Lando through the slow corners. But the cars this year are fundamentally changing through slow corners. It's completely different now. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess obviously the driving style needs to change. There's no doubt about that, because the cars handle so differently in the slow corners now. But yeah, what happened to Seb? Well, he broke down, unfortunately. Parked it off at the exit of turn 5. Basically, there was no red flag for it because he's parked it completely off the track, like as in not in the track's premises, basically. He's back in the pit lane now, so we can see him on TV. Just as we're talking about him, Sebastian Vettel back in the pit lane, which is good to see he's been able to get back, but I don't think the car's going to be there for quite some time, unfortunately. They should ban Mercedes no side pod. I don't think there's any basis to do that at all. It's completely within the rules. It's clever. And from what we've seen so far, it's a good idea. Whether or not it ends up being quicker, who knows? But no, there's nothing to suggest that they should ban it for any reason. What do you think of season 4 of Drive to Survive? Well, I've only seen the last episode so far. That's the only one I've seen. Obviously, it only came out at 8 o'clock this morning, so about 2.5 hours ago. So yeah, I've watched the last episode, and I was a little bit annoyed by it, to be honest. I might end up doing some form of video of like the like where Drive to Survive has gone wrong, something like that. I don't know. I think that could be a pretty fun one to cover. They should ban Mercedes no support. I literally just read that one. What happened to Seb? Why would you ban it? Yeah. You know, actually, if anyone has a reason why they would ban it, you know, absolutely let us know. It's an interesting one to talk about. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think there's like a safety reason to ban it. I don't see why it would be necessary. But you know, it's interesting to hear anyway. Hi, I'm back. Remember me? Yes. Yep. From a little bit earlier. Yep. Merck's still on rules. Yeah, exactly. You know, I think that's, you know, Merck are within the rules from what we've seen so far. There's nothing to suggest they're not. What I'm gonna do is get up the Twitter. Here we go. So we're gonna take a look at Twitter to see some pictures. Let me find where the Twitter box is gonna be. Where is this? There it is. Right, so let's get this up. Home, Twitter, Google, Chrome. Yeah, that's it. Fantastic. So here we go. So let's take a look at some Twitter stuff. See what, you know, photos we've got floating around. So Seb stops on track. Obviously, we knew that was about 20 minutes ago. Let's see if there's anything new. Right, here we go. So yeah, here's some pictures of Seb in the garage. He's just got back, not looking particularly happy, but there we go. So you go. Here's some interesting stuff. What car was this on? It's what's under the F1 floor? Right. So we don't know what team this is. But yeah, there you go. See, obviously you got the bibs there, you got the plank. Obviously that's the plank. You know, the lovely little bit of wood at the bottom. Laser ride height sensor, rounded rounded nose X section, which is pretty cool as well. You got the floor edge wings, which we've seen quite a lot of on the teams this year, and then obviously the fences as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. It's all pretty cool stuff. You know, you see this, and you sort of start to appreciate just how much work is being put into these cars. It's absolutely ridiculous. Where am I going? There we go. So many tabs. System stuff from Haas. Drive to to new heights. See, here's a picture of the race. I just called it the racing point of the Alpine car. Update version now currently hugging his car, so it doesn't feel bad about them. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, not a lot going on Twitter, but just thought it'd be some pictures of Seb, see what's gone on there, and then yeah, there we go. Right, what are people saying? Charles Leclerc update? Yeah, Charles, good to do a lap count update. I haven't done that for quite some time now, so let's do that. That's right, lap count update. Let's get right on it. Here we go. So, oops, that's the wrong thing. Didn't want to open that. There we go. Right, so George Russell has managed 61 laps. He's been doing a very long stint. He's still out there as we speak. Max Verstappen is on 41 laps, and you've got Charles Leclerc on 47. Then you've got Lando Norris now up to 24. And then you've got Esteban Ocon on 49. Yuki Tsunoda's up to 38. We've got Sebastian Vettel obviously not adding many more laps to his tally since the breakdown. He's up to 43. And then broke down, obviously. Nicholas Latifi is on 12 after his brake fire, so that's not changed as well. Valtteri Bottas is on 23. And Mick Schumacher actually hasn't been out for quite some time. He's only on 23 laps. Not a lot of running there for the Haas guys either. Let me just quickly do a time check as well. So you've got 276, 366, 874, 020, 354, 802. So there's an improvement from Yuki Tsunoda, who's put in a 1 minute 36.802. And he was on a set of the C3 tyres. So Yuki Tsunoda moving himself right behind Lando Norris just by half a second or so. Ahead of Bottas, who's done a 987, got that. 37.646, 585, and 845. Okay, so that's now all fully up to date and all accurate, which is good to see. There we go. I love how Ferrari have mostly fixed porpoising. Yeah, they have, and they were one of the teams who weren't ever really struggling with it at all. McLaren have never struggled with it, which is whatever McLaren did, they were all over it. They potentially talked to some people in sports cars. That's what Pat Simmons was saying a little bit earlier on. Yeah, which is interesting. Lando's tyres, testing tyres. They are the C2 compound testing tyres. They're called the T's. Basically, they're pretty identical to the C2 tyres, but like I don't know if it's like slight variation. Someone did point out, yeah, they are in a different factory, which yes, I didn't mention. So yeah, basically they're built elsewhere, and there might be like a slight variation on them, but for the most part, it's identical to a set of C2 tyres. What does the yellow mean? The yellow means that they are assigned to a car for this session, but there's an issue with the car. So Vettel broke down. Latifi had a brake fire. Latifi bring out a pretty lengthy red flag actually. And Vettel didn't bring out even a yellow flag because he was completely off the track. Is Merck still porpoising? No, I mean the porpoising just hasn't been an issue today. We haven't seen much porpoising at all. It seems all it seems pretty calm, to be honest. Seems like everyone's doing pretty well on the whole porpoising issue. So yeah, that's it's good to see from the set. To be honest, most teams have sorted out the porpoising issue. It doesn't seem like anywhere near as big as a problem as it was yesterday, at all. Do you think Ferrari will be the quickest come race day in Bahrain? I do. I think I've still got Leclerc down as my race winner. Not on any basis from testing so far, really. I've just got a feeling. I've just got a feeling it's going to be Charles. What should be Carlos now? And my bold prediction just ends up being the right team but wrong driver. That'll be annoying. Yuki Tsunoda's on a set of C2 tyres at the moment. He's just driving around. Fair chunk off the pace, to be honest. Obviously, because he's probably on a high fuel run. We've actually got a lot of cars out on track at the moment. Obviously, Vettel and Latifi both can't be out there because of their issues. But you've got George Russell out on track. You've got Tsunoda. You've got Verstappen, Leclerc, and Ocon, which is pretty good to see. Pretty good to see so many guys out there. Carlos winning first race would be amazing. That really would be, wouldn't it? That would be something. That really would be. Imagine a title battle between Ferrari and Mercedes, the wildest side pods versus the thinnest ones. Yeah, I mean, it would be, wouldn't it? That'd be pretty cool. All for that. Because, yeah, that's the thing. Ultimately, you either want your side pod to be really skinny or really wide and it's pushing all the air out to the side. That's the point of it. So, yeah, you either want to do one or the other. Oh, the phone's going now. That's convenient, isn't it? Ferrari versus Merc, large versus small side pods. Seb looking nice with his Harrison Ford beard look. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you think Mercedes improved engine reliability this year? Because it was a bit of a concern last year. I'm sure it's something they would have looked at. They would have known it was an issue, and it probably, would have been a, if you think about it, if they didn't, have to suffer with penalties or anything like that, if that wasn't an issue to them, they would have had a better chance of winning a championship. So, ultimately it's something they'd definitely looked at, tried to invest in, make sure it goes right, and, yeah. Breakfast, most important meal of the day. I'm not a breakfast person, to be honest. Not a breakfast person. Mostly because I'm a uni student, so I spend most of my time waking up at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So, I tell you what, testing has been a shock to the system. Why is Merc so slow? Basically, they haven't been pushing. They're on high fuel. Not necessarily hard tyres, but they're on high fuel. We watched George. Well, I watched George's lap as it was being put in. It was not an impressive lap at all. Like, he wasn't. There we go. The Aston Martin has returned to the garage now. The Aston Martin has made its way back to the pit lane, which is good to see. Potentially, if it's a small issue, we don't know what that issue is yet, but if it's a small issue, they'll be able to come back out after the lunch break. I imagine it's going to take more than 21 minutes to fix, but whatever it was. But yeah, hopefully they'll be back out. What am I studying? I am doing, students wake up for lunch already. Yeah, basically, it is literally that. I'm studying automotive engineering with motorsport. That's what I'm doing. Do you think Sainz will be Leclerc this year too? I don't know if he'll. I don't think so. I think Leclerc will have the measure on him this year because realistically, Leclerc should have had the measure on him last year and probably did. It just happened that Carlos put in some just absolutely brilliant performances at the end of the year. Mixed with Charles Leclerc's bad luck at several points over the course of the season, and it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate for Charles. He didn't have a great end at all to the year. Facecam, it will be there in the afternoon. I woke up early for this. I'm not wearing. I'm wearing clothes, but I'm not like set up to be on a camera. It'll be there this afternoon. I'm gonna get ready when this ends. Do you think Haas made the right choice picking Magnussen and not Fittipaldi? I think they have. Fittipaldi, I don't. If you look at his career record, I really don't think he's a Formula One driver. He's a perfectly fine test driver. He can give feedback. He probably knows damn well what he's talking about. But I wouldn't put him down as a Formula One full-time driver. Am I participating in Formula Student? I absolutely am participating in Formula Student. Yeah. I'm going for lunch break. Bye bye. Okay, see you, Pooja. I'll be back. Like I say, I'll be back for the afternoon session, and WTF1 aren't live, so hopefully we'll have some more people coming in as well. I still stand by. We could have had about 15k live viewers at the Barcelona test on day one if WTF1 didn't decide last minute to do it. That still annoyed me. I mean, we still had about like 6k live viewers, which was absolutely brilliant, but we easily lost out on another 10k there, and I will never forgive them for it. Do I like Hamilton? To be honest, there's not many drivers on the grid I don't like. To be brutally honest, I'd say so. I don't think there's like anything wrong with the guy. Bro, my mum just washed my clothes yesterday. My friends already covered my shirt with pen marks. Brilliant, useful. Useful. FSUK or FSG? FSUK, UK. I think my uni did do FSG before. I think they have entered it a couple of times, but yeah, I don't think they have plans to do it this year because obviously the cough was going around, so I don't think they've planned for it. What we got? Do I have to Mick versus Magnussen? I don't know with that one. I think I'm going with Magnussen more, simply because he's more experienced. To be honest, I think if I had to go if I had to pick, but I don't know. I mean, Mick's got some decent pace. I think they're going to have very similar careers. I think pace wise they're going to be pretty close. How do I talk so much? I don't know. It's a skill. A lot of practice. Mercedes battle this year. I need your prediction. I'm going Hamilton. I think Hamilton will have the measure of George. To be honest, I'll be surprised if he doesn't. I mean, look, George is a very talented driver, but Lewis is undeniably one of the greatest drivers of all time in F1. So to beat him is an impressive feat, and not many teammates have been able to do that consistently. So what do I think about Bitcoin? I haven't got money on it, put it that way. Yes, Hamilton. How do you get the time from FSU? How do you get time from FSUK? I'm only here because I'm sick. Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm doing, because I'm first year, so I'm doing like concept class stuff, so it's not too intensive. And to be honest, with my course, I have a lot of spare time. It's the only reason I do all the streaming. I mean, first of all, obviously, I really enjoy just talking about F1 and talking to, honestly, all of you guys, because it's actually just really cool to do. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of spare time. Feeling bad for Nikita. I mean, yeah, an amount, but I don't know. I mean, look, he didn't light the world on fire, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the things of like, yeah, as long as he was bringing money to the team, I guess it's fine to have him there. But you know, once that goes, there's no real point of having him. I wish Nico was still driving. It was such a beautiful rivalry. It was, wasn't it? It was. It was a good rivalry. Very, very much enjoyed it. What we've got? 8 teams have sponsors from Crypto World. Your comments. I mean, it's a lot, isn't it? I don't know. I feel like not all of the crypto companies are great. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's up to the teams to make those decisions at the end of the day. Yeah. What have we got? It's me and my shirt covered in pen marks and my pink towel. You'll get the reference if you remember me from yesterday. Oh god, yeah. We've got Leclerc on max performance, not points. I'm going Leclerc. On raw pace, it's Leclerc. I think where Carlos can put up a fight is actually on the points. I think he's a more consistent driver, makes less mistakes. If Carlos can sort out qualifying, he'll be set. But he has sort of repeatedly been a bit inconsistent in qualifying. Let's put it that way. Not quite performing as best as maybe he could. Couple too many Q2 exits, really. I miss Massa. I know Massa was a good one. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't know. But equally, you know, I don't think he'd be an F1 now anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, I do a fair bit as well. Actually, it's pretty cool to have. Who was the first driver you knew when you came to F1? Mine was Jensen Button in 2012. Basically, exactly the same thing. I was because I got into F. Oh, there's a red flag out on track. There's a red flag out on track. Vettel just came back out on track, and there's a red flag. What's going on there? Okay, so who? Basically, we're gonna have to wait and see who's still stuck out on track, because there's a red flag, but we don't know what for. We have no idea what this red flag's for. Okay, so we've got Charles Leclerc coming in. We've got Ocon coming in. And we know Vettel and Norris are both running, so I have no idea at all what this red flag is for. No idea at all. Hopefully we'll get some word at some point. But yes, given red flag, he goes, ooh, shiny. Yeah, literally. To be fair, the red flag's slightly more important. But yes, I will go back to it. So yeah, I got into F1 from watching the season review DVDs when I was like young, like I don't know, like 7, 8 or something. And I think I've watched like the 2008, 2009 season review DVDs at least like 100 times in my life. I was addicted to those things. So yeah, that's how I got into it. So yeah, Jensen for me was the first driver I sort of like got into. Sounds a bit odd, but yeah. Oh, your viewers aren't important. No, no, not at all. Oh god, it's disrespectful to Lewis when people call him statistically the GOAT. I mean, he is though. Like he is statistically the GOAT. There's nothing wrong with that. He is. Red flag. Oh no, trust me, I know there's a red flag. I'm not sure what for though, because we are seeing Vettel and Norris still both running out on track. So no word on what's caused this yet. Chris Medland saying Vettel got out on track very quickly after his car was returned, but now the session has been stopped and we have no clue why yet. No idea why this red flag is. All of the cars are back in the garage. What does a T mean by this? It means it's a test tyre. So it's a C2 compound, but it's a test tyre. So it's different. Actually, you know what? I'll put C2T. If C2T fits, we're going to do that. Okay, C2T fits. We're doing that. What do you think of F1 X NBA? F1 AM? I don't know, actually. Like F1 and NBA? Or like the mix of F1 and NBA? I don't think it's disrespectful. Yes, calling him statistically GOAT is basically saying you are the GOAT due to your car, but to a large portion, that's the truth. I mean, yeah, because he wouldn't win as many world championships as he did in a Fiat 500, would he? That's the thing. So, Astrolife, hello, Astrolife. How are you doing? Miss having a Brazilian on the grid. Get back Massa and Rubens. I think Ruben might be a little bit too old. Just will say this spare my mum bought it for me on my birthday. It was clean and white when I first got it, but it's dirty now. What's the difference to a test tyre? Not a lot, really. It's very minor differences, and they're not differences that we get told. So, for all intensive purposes, let's just say it's a C2 tyre. But, yeah, it is officially known as the T tyre. So, yeah, that's why I put it as that. But, yeah, I'll put C2T from now on. That's a lot easier. It's a prototype tyre that they made to test it. Yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, is the red flag gone already? I think the red flag's gone already. No idea what that red flag was for. Green again already. Okay, that was weird. Looks like it's just a test. Oh, trust me, we have had chances to test red flags this test so far. I don't get why... Okay, that's really weird to just randomly red flag it then. Unless it's something the teams were aware was going to happen. Potentially, because normally around this time on other days, a virtual safety car comes out. So maybe it was them just testing a red flag. Like they normally test this virtual safety car. So... Right, we've got 10 minutes left. Let's see if, once it's green, which it is now, let's see if anyone decides to come out onto the track. You know, with a set of C4, C3 tyres, maybe a little bit lower fuel loads, maybe. Potentially, fingers crossed. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, system test. Yeah, that's what we're hearing. That's what we're hearing now. So, yeah, this was the same time of the session that we've seen VSCs come out. So, I mean, I don't know why they pick the last 10 minutes to do these sort of tests and not just, you know, the first 10 minutes. That would make a lot more sense, but... We'll gloss over that. Just got in, is Ricardo coming out this afternoon? We don't know. It's still. I don't think it's confirmed at all now. Let's get some C4, C5 runs. Yeah, I mean this afternoon we will. I do think when it gets to. I mean yesterday we saw some C4, C5 running. If we take a look at I mean look, if we take a look at yesterday, we got C4, C5 running. So we're definitely gonna get this afternoon C4, C5 running. I think it will be when the sun comes down. So the last hour or so, when the floodlights come on, the sun sets, we will get some. Oh. No, the red flag's going again. Has the red flag come back on? Or... Because it did go green immediately, basically. And now it's a red flag again. We're on to another red flag. Do we count this to the red flag tally? Or is that cheating? Oh my god, there's not a lot of fans there. Okay, that sucks. Because Barcelona tends to get a fair few. Max 33, Max number 1 for World Champion. Yeah. Well, potentially. Potentially. I'll answer that one after Q3 in Bahrain, I think. They did to strap RaceBeacon and they succeeded. He did go, ooh, shiny. And they did it again as well. They did it again. Yeah, so another red flag period. Again, no idea why. And red again. Nobody had headed back out. I'm sorry, my Dutch bias means I can say nothing else. Oh, God. So I still love it when people say I'm biased to Lewis on this. It makes me very funny because I'm not. All Mac. I've had actually, to be fair, when I was doing the Abu Dhabi stream just after the race, half the chat was saying I was biased to Max, half the chat was saying I was biased to Lewis, and I'm like, guys, make your mind up. It was brilliant. But yeah, Red Bull has strong chance because of Adrian Newey. I mean, yeah, like historically, yeah, they do. Yeah, that's it really. Oh god, RaceBeacon is biased. He said that Lewis got cheated. Oh no, I'm gonna go cry in the corner. Other teams still hiding their Max performance. Well, Red Bull are hiding Max's performance. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. we're still a fair few seconds off of what we could expect. So yeah, race will resume at 1:53, will it? Standing start. Okay, if you want to do that, race control, go for it. What? Race will resume at 1:53. Standing start. Are we going to do a race start? Hang on. What? The restart means message race resume at 1 for 3. So there will be more running before like. I'm so. Why does it say standing start? I mean, if we're going to do a practice race for 7 minutes, I'm all for it, you know. Let's just do that. Yeah, it says standing start. I have absolutely no idea what this is. It's going green in 10 minutes, in 10 seconds. What? I really genuinely have no idea what's happening right now. Red Bull's Verstappen deal was a no-brainer, but who should partner him for the rest next season? Yeah, good point. Any information on new Red Bull parts or what piece of their car tweaking most with? We saw a lot of changes to the floor. I think that's where the biggest changes we've seen so far. A couple of new elements just added towards the floor. I'm gonna try to see what tyres everyone's coming back out on because we've got Leclerc, Vettel, and Bottas coming back out on track. Verstappen has got a set of C3s on his car, so I assume he's going to come back out. They're definitely not packing up for lunch yet. Let's hope people, you know, some of these drivers decide to give it a go. So we're on C2 tyres for Seb. Yeah, we're on C2. Why is it? It still says race will resume at 1:53 standing. It still says standing start. Are they actually going to do? I'm so confused. Are they doing an actual standing start? Are they actually doing a start? We're getting a standing start. How exciting! We're actually getting a proper start. They're starting the race. Maybe. Standing start. We are. We're getting a standing start. They're doing a practice start. That's quite cool, I suppose. They're just doing a... I'm so confused. I have no idea what is going on right now, but they're doing a standing start, which is pretty cool. Max Bauer win a world champion with 75% engine power. Yeah, practice. Oh, yeah, no, I know it is practice starts, but it's still pretty cool because they normally do that at the end. So I don't know what's. I think they're doing like a proper start though. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's weird. 8 out of 10 teams will get a podium. My prediction. I agree with that as well. Okay, Feb FIA is still on crack. Yeah. Max and Massey. Yeah. Braking. We're finally getting around to completing the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix. Good idea. Let's do it. So Max is practicing his pit lane starts because the pit lane exit's closed. So Max is doing a pit lane start. I'm trying to listen to. Right, so obviously they're doing a practice race start with the with the new race directors. So we've got the first drivers now lining up towards the grid. So we've got these standing starts going. 5 minutes left in the session. Don't know why they're doing this now. Michael Massey wasn't the issue. Okay, confirm the FI is still on crack. Yeah. Who compare best with Max other than Checo? I don't know really, to be honest. I really don't. Here we go. So we've got 2 car. Oh, they're doing a full commentary. Do you want to hear it? Here you go. They're doing a start. You can hear it.
We've got fans in the grandstand are actually making their way towards.
I don't know if you can hear that, but there's 3 cars lining up on the grid. They're doing burnouts. Here we go. 3 cars on the grid. Sebastian Vettel on pole. We've got Yuki Tsunoda in second and Charles Leclerc lining up in third. Oh, there's another formation lap, lads. Never mind. They're practicing the extra formation lap now to allow Verstappen to join the grid. So I'm going to turn it back down. We're going to do a proper start. We're going full hype for it. We're going to do a proper start. Start aborted, extra formation lap, it's saying. So the FIA absolutely confusing me to hell and back. Oh, the green... Okay, so they're letting Russell and Verstappen go onto the track here by the looks of it. I'm so confused. How do I see it? It's on Sky Sports F1 because I'm in the UK, so I can see it. So, okay. I think George is broken down at the end of the pit lane, or he's just not moving. One of the two. Oh, he's trying to get it going. Oh, he's got some revs now. He's got the engine to life, and he's going. Right, so this is the extra formation lap we've got. We are getting a race start. I'm going full out with this. We're going. I'll let you all listen to the start. I will do it when they get underway. Oh no, there's a car stopped out on track. Oh no, it's ruined it. No. Oh, the Alfa Romeo's broken down. Valtteri Bottas broken down out on track, meaning you never know, we might get an extra formation lap again. Oh, that is so annoying. That is. I wanted to start. Oh, we've got a red flag. Oh my god. We were going to get a practice start. That was going to be so cool. And then, oh, come on. Valtteri, mate, you have chosen the worst possible time to break down. Literally, any other time in the last 4 hours you could have done that. And you've done it at the peak hype. Bruh. I was looking forward to that. I apologise on the FIA's behalf. That was disgraceful. They were doing a proper formation. Oh, man. I'm gutted. That would have been so cool. I know Alfa Romeo breaking down again. That's what, their like second or third breakdown now. So, over the course of the last 4 or 5 days of testing. Oh, god damn it. That's so annoying. I was really looking forward to that. That would have been really cool. But yeah, no, it's red flagged and the session will not resume. So that, as far as I'm concerned, is the morning session. What I might do is end this basically now, schedule a stream for the afternoon session, get ready, get presentable to go on camera, and then we'll be live at about 10 to 1:45, something like that. I think that works, does it? Does that work with everyone? Because, yeah, this session will not start. There's only a minute and a half left. So, Valtteri Bottas breaking down at the end of this morning session of day 2 out of 3 for pre-season testing at the circuit in Bahrain. I need to call it circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. It's time for me to go to bed. There we go, right. So I'm going to go get presentable. You'll be able to see me on camera and stuff. I'll have it all set up for the afternoon session. And we've got a whole 4-hour stream coming up. Race control session will not be resumed. So there we go. See you guys later. And also, be sure... Bring some donuts, yeah. I'm going to have some sausage rolls for lunch. I'm going to turn the oven on. I'm going to go get changed and be presentable and stuff. And then we're going to stream, and it's going to be absolutely great. So, see you guys for the next 4 hours in about 40, 50 minutes' time. Have a good lunch. See ya.